And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Thursday, February 27th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. Thursday morning, we welcome you to Coleman and Company. And we can say it's not raining out there this morning. In fact, I think the sun's going to shine. My car thermometer said 29 degrees when I got in this morning. I don't know what it said when I got out. I didn't look. But anyway, we're ready to get going here for Bates Ford this morning, 1673 West Main 11 in Bates Ford, the dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. We got Ronnie Kelly back by his lonesome again this morning. Ronnie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. A little bit different today. It's a little bit cooler,
Yes.
and we don't have the rain falling.
Don't have the rain, and that's a good thing, and especially in the car business, you know, when it's raining, we do have a lot of people to come by, a lot of construction workers come by, and we do some great deals, but since it's not raining, it's almost the end of the month, we got some great deals, so hope you come on down to Bates Ford and take advantage of this great weather without any liquid sunshine, and we'll make some great deals today.
All right. Well, every day is a great day when you make a sale, no doubt. I've sold advertising and insurance, and anytime you make a sale is a good day. But some days are still better than others. This is going to be a good one.
It's going to be a great day. Even on yesterday, I had a 16 Edge, traded for a 16 Edge, probably got a little over 20,000 miles on it. It's a great deal on a car, and it's an Edge SUV. It'll be a good time to come by and buy that vehicle. We'll be in the 21.9 range. One owner vehicle sold there at Bates Ford. So even yesterday, as the weather was bad, the great guy came in, decided he wanted to buy a brand new vehicle.
All right. Well, you've got all kinds. You've got a good variety. You've got something for just about everybody at Bates Ford.
Yes, we have a variety of all type of vehicles, and right now we got some low price vehicles under $10,000. A lot of people are looking for that vehicle for a kid that's going to school,
Mm-hmm.
and we have those. And if you want to step up to a little more pre-owned vehicle that's in the 20,000 range, we have those. And then we go to our new vehicles. But we got at the great deals at the end of the month.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, Coleman, right now, this is leap year to be the 29th, to be Saturday to be the end of the month. Come on down, because we got some great deals, and we need to make some deals.
All right. Well, as we always say, the dealer will trade for anything you don't eat, and you don't even have to have a car to trade in. It can be just about anything.
Yes.
You can trade for jewelry sometimes, don't you?
We'll trade for jewelry. We'll trade for anything you have. You know, if you have property you want to sell, come on down. We'll put a price on it, and we'll make it work for you.
Well, a couple other things we like to mention. We talk about tires, and you sell tires, and have got some wonderful tire deals. I mean, you're known more for being in the car business, but a lot of people depend on you for the tires that go on those cars.
Yes, they depend on us for the tires. Sometimes people come in and they get the car service, and they might mention they need tires, and we give them some price on tires. They can't believe the price sometimes. They say, yeah, just put them on. So we have the tires. A lot of times, we may not have the brand that's sitting there that you need, but we can get it the same day or the next day.
Uh-huh.
So if you give us a little time, we can get the tires, and we'll beat everybody else's price.
And one of the other things that's really so great and helps you sometimes in sales is the fact that you can get that oil change up to 5 quarts for $28.95. But there's more to it than that. There's an inspection of your car, and if your car shows that there's some danger signals there's some work that needs to be done on it, and maybe it's just time to get rid of it and get one from Ronnie, right?
Correct. That's what happened on yesterday. A guy, when he bought that Edge in, he had a little problem with it. He was going to get his service, and he started looking at it. He said, hey, why don't we just look at a new one? So that would happen, and, so we walked out with a brand new car. And service, a lot of times when people come to service, we sit down and talk with them, and we might say we got some great deals, and some of them would say, well, okay, we're going to take some time to look at one. We're not going to buy anything today. We're just going to take a look. And then sometimes they wind up buying.
Well, I take it sometimes when people say that, I'm just looking today, they don't want to be pressured.
Right, you're correct. They don't want to be pressured. They don't want to take their time. And a lot of time, when I use different customers, I'll say, hey, just take your time. Go out there and look. If you see something, just let me know. I'll be watching you, and I'll bring your key, and you take it for a test drive, And they say, okay, I thank you. Appreciate that, And they take their time to go out and look at different things. They'll come back, and sometimes they'll say, hey, Ronnie, give me the key to this one. Let me just kind of look at it,
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times we see the taillights going out as a happy customer.
Chris Dowell is supposed to be here this morning, and it's about 8.5 minutes after, and he's not here. I imagine he's going to walk in any minute, but this would be a good time. We probably asked you this before, but you've been doing this, and at the same location for 32 years. How did you get started? And is this something you thought 35 years ago that you'd be doing the rest of your life?
No, it wasn't not something I thought I was going to be doing. But what happened a long time ago, I don't know if anybody remember Dave Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Harvey was in the car business years ago. And I was, at that time, working at Precision Rubber. And I went out to Dave Carlisle one day, and I said, Dave, hey, man, if I send you some customers, and who will you do for me? He said, Ron, if you send me some customers, I'll take care of you, you know. So, and Dave and I would stop out there a lot of time. We sit down and talk, and I would go to work and talk to a few people, and I'll send some people down, and Dave called me. He said, hey, Ronnie, so-and-so came down today, and then I was sending him 3 or 4 people a week, So then at one time I said, well, that's a pretty good thing. So I kept doing that, and I wasn't really paying no attention. So one day, I think Dave kind of went out of business, and he got back in business, and he contacted me. And I said, Dave, how you doing? He said, I'm doing fine. He said, I'm getting ready to get back in business, Ronnie. He said, I'd like for you to come out and help me, And I went out there. I said, we'll do the same thing we done last time. He said, no, I want you to come in and kind of, work part-time, whatever you need to do. So I did that. And I kept doing that. So at the end of the year, I just wasn't really thinking. At the end of the year, I kind of looked at my W-2s. And I made more money on selling cars than I did on my regular job. And when I did the taxes, I said, wait a minute, this may be something I may need to take a look at. So after that, I worked for a guy for about 6 years, and I was doing real well with him. But when I looked at W-2s, I said, maybe I can do better here. So I don't know if anybody remember Mr. James Polk. James Polk used to own Wilson County Concrete.
Yes, remember him.
And so as I worked for Dave Harvey, he used to see me over there. And long story short, I said, Mr. Polk said, I've been watching you, and you've been doing a great job over there. He said, but you need to be at a new dealership. I said, Mr. Polk, I said, that's a great idea, but I don't think that's going to happen in Lebanon right now. I'm not being, And he said, well, no, he said, you go down to Berkeley Ford and put in an application. And I did. And at that time, it was Cliff Carey, was the general manager. And I put in the application, did what he asked me to do. And I walking out the door, I said, I done put in the application, so I was getting ready to leave. And Cliff came back. He said, hey, when do you want to start? And that kind of shocked me, So I said, I'll start Monday. He said, okay, he's come in Monday. So from that day then, on January the 26th of '87, that's when I started,
How about that?
And I've been doing it ever since.
What a story. It just, in a way, it seemed like just sort of happened, but yet you had been preparing yourself all along.
Right, correct. And once I got started, it was in January. And I just said, well, if I can make it in January, I can make it, in the wintertime. So after that, it got started and everything went well,
Were you married all this time?
Yes, I was married at the
What did
time.
your wife think about that?
Well, at first because I always was doing different things, and I would get into this and get into that, and she said, you sure that's what you want to do? And especially when we talk about commission, And so.
Because it's kind of feast or famine.
Right.
The good weeks, it's wonderful, and those bad weeks, well, you better have something set aside.
You got to have something set aside, but one thing about it, if you just keep doing what you do, and if you give it 100%, it'll work.
But you have to win the confidence. People trust you to tell them right about a car and to make a fair deal. I mean, everybody wants the best deal they can get, but I think knowing who they're dealing with and trusting them, and if you've been doing it for 32 years. Or longer, we've got to subtract here after a while. But about that, you've made a lot of friends. You've got probably second, third generation people that come to you.
Yes, we do. And even when Mr. Polk, he would send a lot of people to come down to see me. And also, I would get out and go to see a lot of people. I'll get in different clubs, and I've always been around people. And a lot of times when you're dealing with people, just be fair with them. Like Cliff Carey told me at one time, he said, whatever you do, Ronnie, just tell the people the truth. He said that if you can do something, tell them you can do it. If you can't, tell them up front. And I've always took that to heart, and that's been a great thing, for helping me in business. And one thing, I've been around a lot of salespeople that came from many different stores and said they worked for many different places, and they would run from pillar to post. And I all got to thinking, I said, I think I'm just going to stay here. Because every time a salesperson would come to me and say, well, I did this and I did that, and I made a lot of money. But then I started weighing out some things, and it didn't weigh out. I said, I'm just going to stay here. The grass is.
Well, you've established yourself, and you've got your customers. You're doing well, and I don't think you're planning to go anywhere. And it's still a few years before retirement. So
yeah, still a few years left. Still a few years left.
And you've proved the fact that you don't have to go from pillar to post, as you said, to do it. I've in insurance. I've seen a lot of hotshot people come along. They'd stay with us for 6 months or a year, and it seemed like they're setting the world on fire. And then all of a sudden, it goes cold, and they're gone. And others of us just kind of stayed and kept on an even keel, and we made it okay.
That's what we have to do, Coleman. A lot of times we use in the car business terms of a new broom will sweep clean. They come in the first month, do real good, and second month may be real good, that third month. Then after that fourth month, they decide that they're not as good as they thought they was. But if they just stick with it, and be conservative, it'll work out.
Ronnie Kelly is here. Don't go anywhere. I don't know where Chris Dowell is this morning. Usually he's in here jawing at you by this time. But anyway, we're going to take a break here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's go ahead and see what's happening on the roadways. We want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental, Exmark, large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand, bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. It's been slower than normal coming in from Jolton and Clarksville this morning from that earlier wreck on 24 eastbound at OHB. Crash, and it's going to be in the 5800 block of Hillsboro Pike over there in Forest Hills. Traffic's really busy out here in the construction zone. 440 east and westbound at the 65 split. Heavy, but moving on 24 past Harding Place coming in from Rutherford County. Donut Distillery in East Nashville offers delicious mini donuts. Go by and see them today. Donut Distillery, 311 Gallatin Avenue. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
It's all about taking care of you, and THW Insurance will do just that. Are you looking for home or auto insurance? THW represents Westfield Insurance and other fine companies. Together, we will protect you and your family. Call Carl Ragland at 615-443-6530 or stop in and see him at the Wilson Bank and Trust Providence location in Mount Juliet.
John Boyce here from the Scoreboard Show. For the first time ever, we will be extending the Scoreboard Show to include all of Wilson County High School and college basketball. Trent Perry and I will give you all the basketball scores from the county, as well as interviews from the coaches every Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WANT FM 98.9. The Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Designers Carpet, Absolute Kubota, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Sheriff Robert Bryan and Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Dickey's Barbecue, and Southeast Motorsports.
Coleman and Company here on this Thursday morning. Not wanting to put Chris Dowell down, because if I say anything bad, he's going to come get back at me. He does that pretty good. He either forgot about us or something's happened that he couldn't make it so far this morning. But Ronnie Kelly is still with us, and we're talking about Bates Ford, and we talked a lot about you, Ronnie. You got any opinion about Chris at this point? You said he'd be here.
Well, Chris, he'll probably be here, but I would say that Dodge probably won't start this morning. It's kind of cold. But if you just give me a call, I'll come and pick you up.
I just enjoyed your story here. Were you born here in Wilson County?
I was born in Troutdale County.
Okay.
But I've been here since I was in the 5th grade. So Lebanon has been a great place, you know, and I really enjoyed being here for many
Where'd
years.
you go to school when you came?
I go to school. I went to school at Market Street when I got here, but I was in Troutdale County. I went to, Ward High School. But when I got here, I went to school here at Troutdale County. Then I went to the 8th grade, over at
Lebanon Junior High, Walter J. Baird?
Yeah, Walter J. Yeah, Lebanon Junior High. Lebanon Junior High.
Okay.
And then went to annex. We was annexed from freshman year. I was annexed, to the high school, but and went to high school and graduated from Lebanon High School.
What'd you do after high school?
When I left the high school in '73, that's when I went to work at Precision Rubber.
Okay.
Went to work for Precision Rubber, and then I went to work for Dr. Alton Pickett and worked for him for about 6 years, and learned a lot from him. Learned how to do a lot of business with him, And then that's when I got into
you've had quite a story, and you've got a couple of sons who are on the Lebanon Police Department, right?
Yeah, I got 2 sons, Timothy and Titus. They've been on the Lebanon Police Force for over 20 years, and they made a good career of that, and they doing okay. And I'm really proud of them for staying there, for sticking with it for that long, and hope that they can go ahead and stick with it, and just thank God for that everything's been well with them, and not only just them, but the whole police force.
Yeah.
I think the Lebanon Police Force are doing a great job for the city, and I pray for those guys every day, and not only for the city but the county also. I really like Lebanon, and when you look at city and county government, we came a long way, as Lebanon and Wilson County. So I hope that we can continue to do good, and everyone kind of get along together, work together. If the city and county mayor work together, and we can move on.
Yeah. You've you ever been encouraged to get into politics or run for a public office?
I had thought about it, but if I were doing something like that, I want to have time to do it. So if I retire, I might look at something like that down the road. But right now, I want to have plenty of time to do that if I want to do it, because I want to do a great job.
Aren't you a member of the Election Commission?
Yes, I've been a member of the Election Commission for almost 30 years.
And what are 5 of you, I believe, that are on that? And you've been you the oldest one?
Oldest one on there.
Yeah. And you and the other 4 are the ones who kind of supervise. I guess you hire the administrator of elections. Phil Warren answers to you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But Mr. Phil Warren doing a great job. His staff is doing a wonderful job.
Well, are you excited a little bit about buying the Fred's building and getting him moved over there?
Well, yes, we're kind of excited about that building, because a lot of time we got to go to many different places. When we do the machines. At one time, we're at Lebanon High School, right now, and so we had to go here and there. And before we tore down it was an old building over by the county. We was in that building, so Goodyear building. We was over there, so we've been running from pillar to post, and at the election commission, there's not enough room to do all the machines. Right. So we need a permanent place, and if we get a permanent place, the Fred's building is a great place to be.
Well, we're giving you a little extra time this morning. Actually, you're helping me out, because it's a whole lot better to sit here and talk to you than talk to myself, as I say. But I was just thinking, there's been a Thanksgiving or two when you didn't get to come, and we can make up a little bit of that this morning. Again, you got it's the end of the month. You can get a great deal at Bates Ford today and see Ronnie Kelly and tell him you heard about it here on the radio. He's going to do all he can for you, that's for sure.
Right, we're going to do that. We got a great sales staff, so come down and see the friendly sales staff at Bates Ford, and we'll try to make it pleasant for you to buy a vehicle. No hassle, no pressure, and we'll do a great job of trying to work with you. And if you can, anytime you in Lebanon, Wilson County, always try to buy in Wilson County.
Well, we appreciate that. Guess what? Chris Dowell, I'm told, is on the telephone. And I think I did hit the button right. Chris, call back. I turned you off. I didn't mean to. Sorry that. Well, while he's calling back, we can tell everybody again, you still got that oil change. Cheapest oil change in town, up to 5 quarts for only $28.95 plus tax, of course. And if you have to have extra, you have to pay for that. If you got a car that takes more than 5 quarts like mine, cost you a little more. Let me see if I can do it right this time. Okay, Chris, are you there?
I'm here.
Well, good morning.
Here. You just keep hanging up on me.
I didn't do it but once. You can thank Ronnie Kelly for sitting in your seat for a while. Well, actually, he sat in his seat. He didn't get over there where you sit. But good morning again.
Right, but morning. How are you? And he sat in his seat, but I tell you what, I can always count on Ronnie Kelly. Ain't no doubt about that. And what he said about my truck not starting is wrong. It was a Chevrolet. You got to plug those things up.
Well, as long as Ronnie thinks, as long as it wasn't a Ford, everything's all right.
Right.
Yeah. Chevrolet, Dodge, it don't matter, just as long as it's not a Ford.
Ronnie, you can sit here and stay. I'm going to let Chris have his say. What time we've got left? About 5 minutes. What's going on, Chris?
Yeah.
You want to say goodbye?
Yeah.
No, Ronnie's going to leave. Ronnie is leaving the building. Tell him goodbye, Chris.
Bye, Uncle Ronnie. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. Let me know, man, next week or whenever you come back. I'll pick you up, sir.
All right.
Okay. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. A lot of grass fires. We need some rain.
Get serious.
Yeah, I know. Ain't that something, man? We can't. I mean, you can't go a good 4 or 5 days without some rain, you know. So, that's what I needed to do. I needed to dry up some. We've had our share of rain. So, other than that, everything else is running smooth. Call volume's still up. Everybody's still running up and down the road, running a lot of medical calls, and just one thing or another. I'm sure we're not the only ones in the city doing work, though.
Yeah, it's regardless of what month it is. There's stretches where you're really busy, even in the wintertime. Maybe more so than it used to be.
That is true. I mean, but that used to be a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago, we used to be where we could, have a break every once in a while and sit around a coffee table or around the kitchen table and yap at one another and all of that stuff. But I don't think some of these guys see each other probably on the average of probably 2 hours a day. They don't see each other. So if either one's gone, one truck's gone, or, back and forth, it doesn't matter. But they do not see each other anymore like they used to.
Well, are you hiring now?
No, sir. I'm not hiring now, and don't have anybody in the budget actually to hire in this year's budget or whatever. I give it a break just to catch up and get some other stuff taken care of, like getting organized for this other big push that we got coming. I got some numbers the other day that I think it was over the last 3 years we've had somewhere around 32 or 3,300 houses that's already up and running. So, and I mean, that's new addresses that's up and running. So there's no telling how many more we're going to have this next incoming year.
Is that a little scary to you, or it's a great concern, I would think?
It's a great concern to everybody. I mean, it's growing so fast, you can't keep up with it. And, you just go to the planning meetings and you go to the council meetings and you turn around and the next thing you know, here comes 500 or 600 more, and they're not alarmed anymore when I go up and ask for people because, okay, you're creating a monster and you got to have something to take care of that monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of planning. It's got to go on to meet the growth, and it does cost money, and taxpayers don't like tax increases.
No, they don't. I mean, and being on the county commission, also, they Wilson County people don't like it either. But here's the thing: what do you do and where you get it from? I'm not an advocate of it at all. So, a lot of people are against this sales tax. I mean, okay, you better get one or the other, because I ain't telling you that I'm going to vote for a property tax, but all I'm saying is one might be coming if they don't get the money. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather everybody pay than me have to come out of my pocket and pay my property taxes, and they go up, put it that way.
Well, speaking of that, of course, early voting ended the 25th, which was, I believe, day before yesterday, and we got the final vote Tuesday on Election Day, which is going to be interesting to see how all that turns out. But in the meantime, spring is not far away, and I guess you think about that and prepare for spring anyway.
Well, yeah, we got spring showers coming now. We just had all out, no winter, just a lot of rain. So now we got spring showers coming. So Lord only knows that we need some more water.
One other thing I'll ask you about, we got in our last minute here, are you about through with construction and what all you're going to do over where your office is and where your training center is there on Coles Ferry Pike?
Well, no, I still got gutters to put up. I've still got a bunch of stuff to do inside and out, but mostly the outside is, shrubbery and got the front door needs a ramp for handicap accessibility and things of that nature. So we got a lot of stuff to do. We just can't do it just because of what? The rain. The rain is holding us back. So once the weather breaks, and you just mentioned spring will roll around, and we'll turn around and get some stuff done, and it'll look pretty, and everybody will be satisfied then.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in here, and we will do our best to see you on the fourth Thursday in March, and thanks for being with us today.
That's right.
All right. Chris Dow.
I got one more thing to say.
Yeah,
you got to go and pull for the Big Blue Devils, the Devilettes, I'm sorry. They're making their way once again, maybe to over Murfreesboro. So everybody be on the lookout for them Devilettes.
There you go. I appreciate that. Glad to mention because they won the district and now they go to the region and hopefully
That's
to
right.
the state. All right. Thank you, Chris. That is Chris Dow and Ronnie Kelly, my guests for part one today on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways thanks to Bates Ford. And they've got the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. It's been slower than normal coming in from Jolton and Clarksville this morning from that earlier wreck on 24 eastbound at OHB. Crash, and it's going to be in the 5800 block of Hillsboro Pike over there in Forest Hills. Traffic's really busy out here in the construction zone. 440 east and westbound at the 65 split. Heavy, but moving on 24 past Harding Place coming in from Rutherford County. Donut Distillery in East Nashville offers delicious mini donuts. Go by and see them today. Donut Distillery, 311 Gallatin Avenue. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Cumberland University Baseball is live this season on WANT and WCOR. Tune in for all of the home games and all of the Mid-South Conference matchups with Coach Woody Hunt's 3-time champion Cumberland Phoenix baseball team. Mitch Walters brings you all of the action on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490. For a complete schedule, visit GoCumberlandAthletics.com. It's live Cumberland University Baseball on WANT and WCOR.
The temperature's dropping and so are the prices at Bates Ford. We got some great deals for you. We got vehicles with rebates up to $10,000, 0 interest for 72 months. On the service side, we got tires with rebates of up to $140. We've got the Works vehicle package, which includes an oil change and a tire rotation for the low price of $49.95. Come see us at Bates Ford, 1673 West Main Street, 444-8221, or visit us on the web at www.tonybatesford.com, the dealer that will trade for anything that don't eat.
We finally get some sunshine back in the forecast today. However, it will still be chilly. Highs today will top out in the mid-40s. For Friday, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures on Friday will climb into the upper 40s. This weekend, things do look to stay dry with highs in the 50s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, we welcome you to part two. It is a Thursday morning, and we've got Heather Sadler on the phone to talk about the pavilion. Heather, good morning.
Good morning.
We're glad to have you with us today as always, and appreciate you advertising with us every Thursday at this time. And I'm just wondering, what's the latest from the Pavilion Senior Living in Lebanon?
Well, so we have opened our fourth wing, and we have some residents that have moved in and got a few more coming. but we still have a few rooms available. So that's exciting if somebody's looking and we got to take some residents that needed placement off of our wait list that they've been waiting for a while.
Well, good.
Still have a few rooms left. We have a few openings in memory care, which is kind of a rare thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what we have kind of going on our campus. And then we have our ribbon cutting and our business after hours coming up on March the 19th that we're doing with the chamber. So just to kind of unveil that. So we got a lot going on.
Well, you sure have. What can we expect on the 19th? I mean, a ribbon cutting is a ribbon cutting in a way, but you're going to have more than that. And I wonder, is this for 14 editions? It's not going to be hardly as big as your big opening in the beginning, is it?
Oh, I'm gonna throw a pretty good party. Okay. I mean, if I got a reason to throw a party, I'm gonna throw a party. No, we're just gonna have some light entertainment, and we're gonna have some hors d'oeuvres, and it's also a time for networking. But we want to show off our project, and our residents like to, we like to share everybody with them.
Well, we've talked a little bit about this before, but I'm thinking that your addition here is very similar to what you built in the beginning. If you got added a little bit more, is there any reason other than it's new to come to the new part rather than the old?
No, why mess with a good thing, right, Coleman?
Yeah.
Sorry, there's my dog.
He's agreeing with us.
He's a big guy, if you can't tell.
Well, you got it, sound effects and all this morning.
Well, you can't come to my house if Sheldon's not going to welcome you. So, he's just wanting to welcome whoever's in the driveway. Anyway, let's talk about the fourth week. So we didn't want to mess with a good thing. We have the same floor plans and some of the same amenities. I think we changed one thing, and we changed the barn door into a pocket door with a barn door. So that was kind of the only big changes, but it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And if I've got a reason to throw a party, I'm gonna throw a party. So.
All right. And what day did you say? The 19th of March.
The 19th. Mm-hmm.
What are the hours?
It is going to be from 5 to, I think, 7.
Okay.
Time.
All right.
Yes.
Be a bit of time when anybody just about that wants to attend can make it, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Right after work. Okay.
If you can't make it that time, you want to come on by any time. We keep the red carpet out for all our guests to come on by.
Well, let's remind everybody again, sometimes we wait till last to do this, but the Pavilion Senior Living is located help me out here, 1409 Medical Center Drive. There we go. And that's
right.
If you don't know where Medical Center Drive is, that doesn't mean a lot to you, but it's very close to Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. If you're going to the emergency room, you go one street further north, take a left, you'll find it down there on the right. 1409 Medical Center Drive, the Pavilion Senior Living, and Heather Sadler is the marketing director who welcomes your phone calls at 615-444-5556. And you've got a website where you still put a lot of selfies, right?
Absolutely. So I've got to get back in there to update my last selfie with you.
Well, anything else you want to tell us this morning?
I dog this morning. That's all I got, and I will talk to y'all next Thursday.
All right. Thanks a lot, Heather. We appreciate it. Heather Sadler, Marketing Director for the Pavilion Senior Living in Lebanon, and that's going to do it for that. She'll be back with us again next Thursday. We'll talk more about the big welcoming coming up on the 19th with a new edition. Right now, we're 22 and a half before the hour, and I am joined by Greg Butler this morning, the new chairman of the board of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to have you with us today, and we've got a lot to talk about. I had Melanie's name actually down on my calendar for this morning, and just to make sure that we were on the same page, I called the chamber yesterday afternoon, and Tanya, who takes care of everything related to this program, I think, says, yes, you're right, except Melanie's not going to be there. Greg Butler will come. And okay, great. And, of course, a lot of us to attend the big annual dinner and award ceremony that you had last week out at the pavilion, at the Expo Center, and you were installed officially, but I guess you actually taken over as chairman of the board 1st of January.
1st of January. Yeah.
Well, I think it would be good if you don't mind. I know you've got a lot to share with us this morning, but some people may be wondering who is Greg Butler, and I think you've been around here for a while. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, I shall. Coleman, I'm a Lebanon native, born in McFarland Hospital. Married a Donaldson girl when I was 21. I had just graduated from my first year at Cumberland College and needed some place to go, so I went to the University of Memphis, which was then Memphis State. And my wife worked at St. Jude as a medical technologist. We had planned on staying in Memphis just a couple of years for me to finish out my accounting degree. But 2 years became 4 years because she didn't want to leave St. Jude. And I understood that. We were 24 or so it really didn't matter. 4 years became 5. 5 years became 7. In those 5th and 7 years, we had 2 daughters. 7 years became 36. So we moved back in 2008 after the girls graduated from their respective out-of-state colleges. We had awesome friends in Memphis that were as family, but we had no blood family there, and we did here, so we moved back. And
what have you done since you got back here?
Worked at Custom Packaging for 10 years. Jackie Cowden hired me there as controller. I left as CFO in 2018. I saw Ed James at the banquet the other night, and I kind of pointed to my badge, and I said, my chamber badge, and I said, Ed, this is all your fault. And he goes, my fault? Why is it all your fault? And I said, well, you built my house in 2008, and a year later, you asked me to join the Rotary Club. And I thought, my dad was in the Lebanon Rotary way back in the day and was president of it in the 50s. And I knew a lot about Rotary, so I joined. A couple of years later, Judd Nave joined my Rotary Club, the Lebanon Breakfast, the year before he was going to be chairman of the board. And then he asked me to be on the board. So it's kind of Ed's fault, but it's kind of Judd's fault too.
Well, you have stuck with it. Now you are chairman of the board of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. So you kind of worked your way up over the years.
This is my 4th year. I was treasurer last year and some of the year before. So I got to learn it kind of from the inside, from that perspective.
Yeah. Well,
and by attending a lot of events, and being of the chamber board, I'm totally on ribbon cuttings. I think they're the best thing, even if we do it twice.
Well, I guess you're probably going to be at the pavilion for theirs then.
It's on my calendar.
Yeah. What has it meant to you since you joined the chamber? I mean, we have a very great presence there on the square, and the what used to be 2 business buildings is now the Chamber of Commerce building, and for a lot of people it may be the first relationship they have with somebody with our area, and it means a lot. It's worth a lot.
It's worth a lot. I mentioned in my remarks the other night at the banquet, everybody uses the phrase, it's all connected. Well, if you're a new business in town or starting a business or moving in just as a resident, you get connected so fast by having a relationship with the chamber. And that's what happened with me. I met so many great people that I didn't know outside of my circle of church and Rotary Club. And I mean, just fabulous people who really had a heart and had a passion for improving our community, Lebanon and Wilson County, and helping it attain its mission.
Well, we hear the stories, and maybe sometimes you have to see it to believe it, but there's really so much going on through that chamber office there, and the Melanie mentors got to be, along with Tanya and the others in the staff, they've got to be busy and really know what's going on in the community. Got to be there in a lot of situations.
They do. Melanie and the others are plugged in with what's happening in city and county government. They're plugged in with what's happening with G. Hickson and his organization out there, and it kind of takes all of us, to maybe collapse around the prospect and get somebody in.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of growth too. I mean, I've been around here for all my adult life, let's say, and before that too. But just see the growth of the whole area, but the growth of the chamber during that time, and I mean, well over 1,000 members now. It's a big organization. It's
a big chamber for staff people to stay on top of everything. But I'll tell you what, they're an awesome staff. And to have a roster of over 1,200 and do what they do with as many events as we do, the business before and after hours, the exchanges, the ribbon cuttings. To be honest, I don't see where they get the energy to do it, but it's almost a 24/7 job anyway.
It's time for us to take a break. Greg Butler is my guest. He is the chairman of the board of the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. This is his year to shine, and we're going to find out more of some of his plans when we come back after this break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:44. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental. Exmark, large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. Number one selling brand by 2-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. The police are clearing up a couple of accidents out here in the last few minutes, including that one there at Briley Parkway at Venus Drive. It's a crash at Harding Place at Linwood. That's Lindawood. I'm sorry. That's Harding Place at Lindawood Drive. That's West Nashville. That wreck does involve some injuries. M Hill Pike at Briley Parkway. We saw that fender bender being moved just a second ago. Just busy out here where you would expect this time of the morning. Nash Painting, serving families, businesses throughout Middle Tennessee. Call Nash Painting today. 615-85 Paint. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on-time traffic.
She's taken care of you your whole life. Now it's your turn to take care of her. But with a family of your own and other responsibilities, there just aren't enough hours in the day. That's why it might be time to call the Pavilion Senior Living. From bathing, dressing, housekeeping, and meals, the Pavilion Senior Living is committed to being senior living you can trust for your loved one. Find out more at pavilionseniorliving.com or call 444-5556. That's 444-5556.
Hi, I'm Javen Cripps, and I'm running to be your next circuit court judge. It's been an honor to serve you as an assistant district attorney for the last 13 years. For the last 5 years, I've spent most of my time in Macon County. Judge Wooten has served us well for 21 years and is now retired. I'm confident that I have the skills and experience necessary to fill the position. Serving as your circuit court judge would be my honor, and nobody will work harder to serve with honesty and integrity. I'm Javen Cripps, asking for your vote.
Paid for by the committee to elect Javen Cripps for Circuit Judge, Madeline Jennings, Treasurer.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Coleman and Company here in our final segment now for a Thursday morning. Greg Butler is with us. If you missed the first part, Greg, you were born here in Wilson County, but went to Memphis to go to school, and then you stayed there for a lot longer than you had planned early on. But you mentioned your father. Who's your father?
He was a dentist in town, Dr. Carter Butler.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought when you said that might be. I remember Dr. Butler for sure. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
But you said during the break here you don't have a lot of. You've mostly worked and not a lot of hobbies. Is that changed at all?
No, not well. Partially, I mean, I don't hunt. I don't fish. I don't really collect anything because I always worked. But in the down days of my retirement, when I'm not real busy, which are few and far between, I'll have to say, and that's good. I started doing some family ancestry research.
Oh.
And bought some software where I can plug all that stuff in. And at one point, I thought I was kin to Robert the Bruce, from the Middle Ages, only to determine I wasn't. And maybe that's a good thing.
Well, as far as being chairman of the board of the chamber, you join a lot of distinguished people, really. I think, isn't there a picture of every one of them down there on the chamber wall?
And some upstairs also in the upstairs boardroom.
And if you look at that, I mean, that in itself is kind of a good history of Lebanon, really. And you get to join those. So that
I'm really honored by that because there's so many I know now. We'll say on the wall up there that I extraordinarily respect.
Well, as chairman of the board, what really are your duties? And I mean, you are in a leadership position, but it only lasts a year, and but you are remembered usually for some of the things that go on during that year.
I am. This year, I've got two things that I want us to accomplish, and they both kind of really started, in one case, well before 2019, and the other started in 2019. You've seen in the papers and maybe heard, if you were there Thursday night, about workforce development. Mm-hmm. Our economic development division or committee has been working on that for probably 3 or 4 years now, having industry roundtables, getting surveys back from the industry folks who had attended to get their pain points. What do you guys need? And for several years, it's been, we have a dearth of hireable employees. Mm-hmm. We can't find them, and the ones we find don't have the skill sets. And it's taken us a while to get some traction with county government and with board member and even individual help to determine, okay, what is the structure that we can work towards in order to place businesses and educators in the right place to learn from each other. Mm-hmm. Here's what we offer. Here's what we need. And so we have that structure in place on paper. Now it's just executing. And it'll probably take the rest of the year to do that.
All right. How do you? Is this mostly through meetings and where you just kind of, as we say, pick each other's brains or lay it out all on the table, the wants and the needs here?
Well, mostly it's from the surveys. This is what we need. But in terms of how can we actually start an effort to create a workforce development program in Wilson County? Melanie found and talked to someone at Rutherford Works program. Rutherford Works has had a workforce development program for 10 or 12 years now, so it's running on autopilot almost. Mm-hmm. I forgot her name, but the executive director there has been really kind and gracious to share what they do, how they do it, and to give us a lot of recommendations on how to get industry involved, how to get businesses involved, and how to roll it out with your education system, including TCAT. Mm-hmm. So all the colleges in Wilson County, Ball State, Cumberland University, and all the school systems, private and public. That's the goal. So we're at the point, and this effort will be managed ultimately by an executive director. As yet, unhired, and will be managed, and he and what he does, or she and what she does, will be managed by a council of participating businesses and corporations, with a board that's populated by several facets of the business, education system, and the chamber.
Well, if we can steer the education in the direction where they're going to be better prepared for whatever job is out here. That's kind of where we're coming from.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if you can do that, you've got a workforce that's more capable of providing the need that is there.
Has two benefits, among probably many others. Maybe the best benefit is, we keep that talent local because they can be employed local. And it's good to show that we have that for prospective employers considering Wilson County as a new home.
Okay, workforce development. That's one.
That's one.
What's the other?
Senior Ride Wilson. County government, Mayor Hutto and his office came to the chamber back in, I think, middle 2019 through the Chamber's Healthcare Roundtable, and had a social needs question, and the question was, what do we have to do